Hi, I'm Howie Silbiger, and this is a special announcement for the Howie Silbiger Show right here on the True Talk Radio Network. As you know, the True Talk Radio Network airs the Howie Silbiger Show on their network, on the app, which could be downloaded from the App Store, any of the App Stores. We also air live on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, and pretty soon on Instagram. We're airing live on many different streaming networks, and we have thousands of listeners a week, and I'm appreciative of everybody who tunes in and listens to the Howie Silbiger Show. Thank you so much for this support. I've been doing this show for my entire adult life, and it has been a real pleasure and a privilege to be able to come to you week after week, day after day, and talk about the issues and discuss life and all sorts of other stuff, whatever comes to mind. It has been a pleasure and an honor to be able to do that for so many years. So I thank you all for your support and your continued support here on the Howie Silbiger Show. There will be some major changes to the show. For the longest time, I had a record that I never missed a show. So if we were scheduled to be on, we were on, and nobody ever had to question us being on or questioning if we're going to be on. Longtime listeners might remember that. Recent listeners probably remember long gaps in between shows, weeks that shows aren't being done. Now, I'll give you the reason for that. There is a reason for it. Uh, the show has become less fun for me to do. I'll be honest, it's become less fun. And it's mostly my fault. I mean, the show does belong to me, and I am the host of the show. And I have let down the guard and not done the work I had to do in order to make the show as fun as it used to be. Uh, and the quality of the show, the topics we've covered, the format that we adopted months ago, has really deteriorated the quality of the show. And I apologize for that. For those longtime listeners and for those of you who have tuned in and then tuned out, I really apologize for letting this slack down. I guess after so many years of doing the show, sometimes you just get too tired to realize that you're letting it slide. I realize that we haven't lived up to our reputation. I realize that we have dropped many of the features that we should have not dropped. I realize that we have not been covering the news stories that you expect us to cover. I realize that I don't have the guests that you expect to hear on this show. And all that is going to change starting next week. Starting next week, we are going back to the way the show used to be. So if you remember the show from 3-4 years ago, you remember the show that we used to do on 1650 a.m. at 6 years ago, and more. We're going back to that. We're going to have a lot more guests. We're going to have a lot more features. Some of the people that used to be on the show will be coming back. We'll be adding new people to the show. I'm still working on that. I don't have too many people confirmed yet. There are people who are interested, and we're working on it. So this will be a slow rollout. So you got to bear with us, and I know that you've bared with us till now. So keep bearing with us as we roll out new features, as we roll out new segments, and as we cover more news stories and more interesting topics than we've been covering recently. We tried to go global, and it got to our heads. It messed with us. And when you have a winning formula, when you have a formula that people like, and then you start messing with it because you feel that we have a more global audience, therefore we have to go more global. When you start doing that, you run into big problems on the show. So we are reverting back to the way it was, and this is what the plan is. We are going to be on consistently. So if we tell you that we will be on a certain day, now the time is going to change. It's going to have to change. We are going to be on later in the evening on Sundays. We're going to be later in the evening during the week. If we're on during the week, we're going to be later in the evening during the week, and I will make that announcement in the next week or so. I have to. There's a couple of other things happening in my life. I have to see how those schedules work out, and I'll make the announcement at an appropriate time. keep watching, by the way. Like the Howie Silbiger Show Facebook page and keep watching that page because updates will be put up there too. I hope that the changes we make will make the listeners happy, and I appreciate everybody who's written in with concern, with suggestions, and of course, if you want to add your voice to the fray, you could feel free to do so by email me howie@truetalkradio.com. I appreciate all of you, and I'm hoping, well, I'm not even hoping because I know that once we finish the formatic change, it should take a couple of weeks. It'll happen probably by September. Once we finish the entire shift in format, I know that you will appreciate the fact that we're back to our original show. So, I want to thank everybody who has held in there. I want to thank everybody who's put an honest effort into the show. And I know that that as we work hard and as we rebuild the show, you will continue your journey down the road with us. And we hope to be on the air for another 26 years. It's been 26 years since we started. We're hoping to be on the air for another 26 years. I'm Howie Silbiger. This is the Howie Silbiger Show right here on the True Talk Radio Network. I thank you for tuning in to this broadcast, to this special announcement. I will be providing more details on the changes we're going to make in an upcoming show. Once again, keep your eye on the Howie Silbiger Show page. I'm fairly sure the show will be on Sunday, and I'll have a lot more details to give you on Sunday. But I just wanted to come on tonight and assure you that we understand and we know that the show has changed. We know that the changes weren't necessarily for the good, and we intend to shift everything back and make the show much better than it's been. I apologize that it got to this point. But you know, what they say is that sometimes you have to realize, and sometimes you have to just come out and admit that you made a mistake. And the shifting of our format and the changing of our format has been a massive mistake, and I apologize. I recognize it, and I apologize. So we will. I will let you know as time progresses on how we are going to continue and what days we'll be on and how it's going to work. Until then, have a great one, and join me tonight at midnight for Political Hitman. It'll air right here, wherever you're listening to this, wherever you're seeing this. It'll air right here, and I will be hosting for an hour between midnight and 1 a.m. So join me then. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of the Howie Silbiger Show experience. I'll be back on Sunday at the regular time. We'll be on Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on the True Talk Radio Network. Thank you.